This is Crimson, and she, I mean, he is a menace to society, and he will do anything he wants to do to achieve his goal. And yes, I literally mean anything. And if I'm being honest, I would hate to be a civilian in this world, because you have to deal with dragons or Crimson. Granted, Crimson is a dragon, but he's far worse than any other one, using anyone or everyone as pawns, like he's Lelouch, but far worse. And I'm going to show you the reason why for that. Anyways, we was yapping a little bit too long now, and it's time to go straight to the point. And before we start, I do plan on making a video about rating the dragons, and if you want to see that, then show us some love how you did for the last video. But that's the point though. Let's get to it. First, we get to our first victims from Crimson's plan, and it was basically these people who just got attacked from dragons. So you might be wondering what Crimson would do to these people. Crimson started making BS stuff about Ragnar, and then right afterwards he puts them all in a trance, and Ragnar was wondering what was going on, and Crimson would tell you one simple answer for this: magic. And he made him chant that magic is great. And if that's not some devious energy, I can't tell you what is. Like, they just met them. And children was affected in this. And here's the catch. Crimson don't care. I don't even have a point system for this, but let you know, the evil points went up. So once the whole ritual was over, one of them decided to go ask for some help. And instead of being like, that was our main plan to begin with, he decided to guilt trip him for tactically retreating. Keep this in mind. He can only do so much. And that fight was basically impossible to win. And here's the reason why he guilt tripped them. So that they can keep on fighting for his own personal use. And I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of OD. But anyways, Crimson's plan worked and they took the bait.
The next day,
Crimson was arming them up with Ragnar's power, and Crimson noticed how Ragnar was feeling. And it was basically about Leo. So after he got done telling him his concerns about how he's worried about Leo, Crimson was like, yeah, I get it, but I have a suggestion. And he suggests something completely diabolical. And his plan was to kidnap Leo, put Leo in a secure place, put her in a coma, and once he got done slaughtering all the dragons, and that's when he wake her back up with an antidote. And the catch is the antidote won't guarantee work. But Ragnar was not trying to have that, so Crimson decided to go for the next best thing and then kick him while he was down. And if Ragnar decided to go randomly agree with that, he would have done that in a heartbeat, because like I said, Crimson do not care, and he's proud about it.
3 hours later,
Crimson and his pawns decided to go after the dragon, and the first thing to catch his attention, he started to rage bait him like crazy. And the crazier part about everything, it worked just like that. He started chasing him down to the point that he didn't care the sun was in that direction, and the sun is basically their kryptonite, so that says a lot. So once Crimson's plan was working out perfectly, rage baiting the dragon all the way to the bridge that was filled with silverine, he got pushed out of his own tornado. So Slime decided to use the opportunity to catch his next victim, but instead of eating him, he placed him on a silverine spear. And at that point, dude was basically cooked, quite literally, medium rare style. The luck was on this dragon side for a brief moment, because this piece of ground was moved and gave him a quick chance to take away the spear. But here's the thing, Crimson was watching JoJo's lately, so he decided to finish him off Kira style, but they decided to add icing on top. And while all that was happening, Crimson was watching and laughing the whole entire time. Straight diabolical. You already know points gotta be added on that. Once that was over, Crimson decided to put them out of a trance because he had no use for them anymore. And now it's time to see Crimson's next victim. After Ragnar was done giving Ultimatia a belt to Az, straight traumatizing her, Crimson went to go and take things to a whole nother level, because Crimson decided he wanted to cause chaos for the fun of it, and no civilian was safe throughout all this accident. Well, all of it is on purpose, let's be real. And he did this so that she can rewind herself to death, and Ultimatia did not know what to do. So Crimson decided to give out a whole speech like Kisamasu, saying that this is all her fault, standing around to injure people like all high and mighty. But then he hit her with, but you can go and save all of them. All you have to do is just rewind. He was on a straight demonic time. The crazier part about everything, she was actually about to do it, but she managed to get saved at the last second by one of the useless dragons in the show, but he did something good, and that ruined Crimson's mood entirely. So he decided to walk away with his results. But there's still more to this. Crimson meets up with a subordinate and he immediately punishes him. And I'm not gonna lie, he did it with pure finesse. And bro was basically like, how dare you not add more bombs to this place? I'm trying to put my name out to these dragons. Well, actually, I was just trying to save my homies from this. And he was mad about not having more bombs, so that there could be more casualties. Because he begged if he had more casualties, she would most definitely rewind. But that didn't go into his favor, and most people died because of that. So once Crimson decided to leave, he decided to go punish his subordinate real quick for trying to test him. And they were gone just like that. Now throughout all that, we gotta add a lot of points for that. And I'm pretty sure this is fair. Crimson got put into a predicament that he did not want to get into, and things was going smoothly at first until the Submarine Princess caught on to her BS, and she started calling him out like she's L, all because she was able to tell lies from people's aura. So once she was able to see what her true aura was about, she basically wasted no time to assassinate Crimson. But the code came up with a quote-unquote save and stopped the situation from fully escalating. But once that happened, the princess fell in love with him because he looked like this. So Crimson see that and takes advantage of that completely to fulfill his plan. And the first thing they managed to get out of that situation and managed to go create an alliance. And our brother hits a mistake for that, I'm not gonna lie. But she doesn't know all because of Ragna.
A few moments later.
The crew that was assigned to make a teleporter, they were all struggling and they had no choice but to overwork themselves to the point that they had brain rot. So bro was basically stumped till Crimson came along out of nowhere and he heard everything. So of course he would help them. Now we're going to skip forward a little bit. We see bro struggling against this one dragon that knows how to use time stop, and he was the only one that was able to adapt against that, which you gotta give mad props for. And one of the main reasons why I was saying that too, because he was holding things up on his own. Well, until the dragon was about to use time magic again. But that's when Crimson comes along though, and he was using a whole voice changer. So once he confronted the dragon, he threw the ball at it, and as soon as it stopped time, it burned itself to death, and the ball was bright like the sun. So he gave no one no warning at all to look away or close their eyes, and potentially made some of them blind for that. But we're just getting started. And then he brings some innocent civilians into this, and they were also put into a trance.
A few moments later.
Crimson saw the last part of the team, and he decided to use that madness as an advantage. So once he saved them, they all went to the teleportation area. So once they all made it to the location, Crimson did something completely vile, because all the hypnotized people held them at gunpoint, and it's all Crimson's doing. So once bro tried to get up, Crimson straight up made out with him. And there's one main reason why he did that, and the main reason why is because he makes him paralyzed. And after that, he told him proudly that he was actually a guy, and he takes form of a female. Bro took the biggest L from this situation. Pray for bro. He got made out with no consent. But anyways, then a terrible situation had happened, and things was going out of Crimson's plan. So Crimson was like, if everyone don't start the teleporter now, then everyone's gonna get annihilated. And that's just because he feels like it, and he was annoyed from them. But then something happened, and she awakened.
We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
So she managed to stop what everything was happening, and then she decides to send Crimson and then brainwash people out of there. So once everything was over, see Crimson and his lackeys falling down. And that's basically the end of Crimson for now. And at this point, throughout everything what happened, Crimson deserves to get a full 100% because he's a menace to society, and truly no one will be able to stop him except for one. And that person's name is Ragna. And we already know what he's able to do. But yeah, I had to go point out about Crimson because I know I let them slick for a little bit too long. But hey, what's your thoughts about Crimson? You should let me know. Do you think he's a menace to society, especially all the things I shown? Or I don't even know if I'm being completely honest with you. But yeah, that's besides the point though. I really do hope that you enjoyed this type of video, and if you enjoy this type of content, you might as well go leave a like, share your comments down below, and all of that. Also, I do stream on Twitch, I do have a Discord server. Both of those things will be in the description, so if you want to be in there, then be my guest. And finally, I will be posting a Wuthering Waves video or a Zenless video right after this, so let y'all know ahead of time. And I got other YouTube channels on top of that if you want to go and stop on by and watch those videos. But that's besides the point, and I hope to see you next time in a different video. If not, I hope you have a good life. I love y'all.